Have you ever had a moment where you just think everything in life needs to stop? Everything in life just needs to pause, time out, slow way the fuck down. Well, a pause time out can be good for you. And if you watch any of my videos, you know I talk about taking a pause, taking a step back, and slowing down. And it can be good for you because it allows you to take a moment to think about how you're feeling and what your response is to what you're feeling instead of being reactive and responding emotionally. So while a pause time out and taking that step back can be really good for you, it can also be really good for your loved ones. In my struggle with infertility, I blanked. I just completely, not only did I shut off, I blanked about the fact that anybody else could be having feelings or ideas or reaction to what it is that I was going through. I was so caught up in my feelings and not understanding them really at all, because I always say that I felt like I was electricity on fire inside my body. Like everything was going on all at once, all the time. So I was hurt and I was confused and I was depressed, and I didn't think that it could also be emotionally charged or hurting for my husband or for my family, or the fact that they may be hurting for me. So today I want to talk to you about how your behavior and your feelings about whatever it is that you're going through, whatever is giving you that moment of pause, taking a step back, timing out, may be making you be inconsiderate to the feelings of those people that are around you, that love you, and that could be going through this with you. For those who don't know me, my name is Shannon Wooten. I am a lifestyle infertility coach. I help women who feel disconnected from their bodies heal by owning infertility sucks, but you don't. So feelings of shock, anger, depression, these are all things that I went through or processed through during my most dark, depressed moments of my infertility. And they can close us off. They can make us have these moments, like I said, where we forget to consider the emotions of those who are around us, because you feel so bogged down. You feel like you're wearing like a huge backpack of responsibility to your feelings, yes, a responsibility to figuring it out, to responsible to not feeling that way anymore, that we just forget that other people may be worried about us. Other people are possibly going through this too. It's not glamorous for me to admit that I completely forgot that my husband, my best friend in the whole entire world, may have been having a reaction to not only the fact that we're struggling with infertility together, but also that I was diagnosed with symptoms related to infertility, that I was dealing with this disease, that I was going to the doctors every day and let them shoot me up and take my blood and shove sticks up my vagina and give me ultrasounds. I just completely closed off the idea that he may have been having a response or a reaction to what we were going through together, but also what he was feeling about it, what he may have been feeling about it. And I really want to stress this because it's important to not forget that there are people around you that love you. And there are people around you that if you're hurt, they're hurt. And so when I started processing my feelings about infertility and started to be lucky enough to get on the outside to be able to see how I was reacting from the outside in, I learned that I was doing these things. And that didn't make me feel so good. And what I learned about it was, number one, if you're sad, they're gonna be sad for you. They're your people. They love you. And their concern about what you're going through and how you feel about it, it's not judgment. And that's something that I did. When I was stuck under all my feelings and processing all my depression, I really legitimately was like, I don't have time to process your feelings too. That's my truth. I was like, I don't have time to know what it is that you feel about it. And that ain't pretty. And it's not them saying, hey, I'm here to judge you. It's them saying, slow down. Feel what hurts. Get to the point where you can understand it. So for me, yes, infertility is 100% about the fact that I cannot have a baby. I want a baby. I want a child. I want to be able to be a mother. But when I really stripped it down and got to what was making me feel so depressed and so inadequate, it was that I couldn't have the act of having a baby. And that pissed me the fuck off. Why me? That's what it was. And them saying, hey, slow down and feel what hurts, is not them saying, hey, slow down and feel what hurts so I can feel better about this, so I can judge you about this. No, it's them saying, I want to have a chance to process it with you, have a feeling about it with you, and be able to be supportive of you. So the next thing is number 2, they want to help. They want to be able to be supportive of you and be there with you because they love you, number 1. Number 2, being there for you does not mean that they think that you can't handle what it is that you're going through. Being supportive for you is them saying, hey, sorry, my nose is itchy. I want to understand how you feel and why. And I want to be able to share how you feel so maybe I can understand if I have a feeling about it too. The biggest thing I try to highlight about infertility is that it is not a singular struggle. There are people that surround you, that love you. And if you're trying to have a baby, ideally that person that's trying to be the most supportive to you is your partner. So to ice them out and to close them off may make them feel like, hey, maybe I can't have feelings about this because maybe it's too much for her and I really just want to be there for her, so let me make it all about her. But that's not fair to them. They need to be able to know what they feel about it too and why. So for me, again, as I said before, one of the biggest problems I had with infertility was I want a baby. I want to be a mom. And when I narrowed it down and drilled it down to the reason that I was so fucked off about it all is because why me? And I needed to be able to see, to hear, to understand, to give him that love that he deserves from me as his person, to be able to say, hey, yeah, why me too? Why us? And so closing somebody off for their ability to help you is almost invalidating their feelings and not allowing them to be supportive to you. Because, and number 3 is love is an intersection. It is all about feeling, right? So thinking about your feelings can be helpful to everybody surrounding you. And it's not them saying, hey, again, I don't think you can handle this. Hey, I see you going down a bad path, for which maybe you are. And that would be helpful to know if you're stuck in your blind anger. That would be helpful. But it's actually them saying, don't close me out. Let me validate how you feel. And in validating how you feel, that validates how I feel and how we are together and how we're going through this together. Because again, my husband, who was the closest person to me, trying to have a baby with me, I iced him out, but I also iced out my whole family. I also iced out all my friends, and I didn't talk to them about it. And I didn't let them have feelings about it, not only for them, but for me. They love me, they're my people. And I need to allow them to support me because that's what love is. And in pain, God, what doesn't heal you if not love? It definitely heals you. So sometimes taking a pause, time out, and talking with someone, gosh, it can be so healing. It can process how you feel. You can get down, like I said, when I drilled it down to the reason why I was so pissed about infertility, which mind you is several reasons and took me several years to get through. It came down to the fact that I couldn't do what the fuck I wanted to do. And I was putting my body through the ringer to get it to do it, and it eluded me. No matter what I did, I couldn't do it. And if that's how I felt, Jesus, imagine how my husband felt when I closed him out. Imagine how my family felt when I closed them out. That was me invalidating their feelings. I have no problem admitting to you that I am the poster child of what not to do in your struggle. And I own that. And it sucks because he's my best friend. He's my favorite person in the whole world. I have the most amazing family, and I did that shit anyways. And if that is nothing but a beacon of what depression can do to you, take someone who has an amazing family, take someone who has an amazing husband and an amazing partner, and I just shut them out because I couldn't handle what I was going through because it was too much for me to process. That's what depression does to you. That's what struggle does to you. And if nothing else, it isolates you and it makes you feel alone when you may not be alone. I was not alone. I have a fucking rock star support system. Not just my family and my husband, my friends. I have an amazing support system. And in depression, like I said before, we become blind to those things and driven by that intensity, that wrath, that anger, that shit that shrivels you up on the inside and takes control of you and makes you lead with that, when otherwise that may not be the person you are. It can be a part of you, and a struggle can do that to you. So try to open up with your feelings by letting somebody in and talking about it, and allow yourself to react the way that you really want to. For me, I didn't want to be inconsiderate of other people's feelings. That's not the person I want to be, but that's who I became. And so the first thing I had to do was start chipping away at that and tear down that wall once I started to identify what the impetus, the source of my anger was. So don't feel like you're a shitty person if you are in a place where you're doing these things. If you're not allowing people to support you because you're sad and they are sad for you, they love you. Or if you don't want to allow people to help you because your ego is saying that that indicates I'm weak. Or if you are not realizing that love is an intersection. So many feelings are all around you, and that's a support system. Don't feel like you're a shitty person if you're doing that, but do not ignore it as well. I say these things to you because I love you, and I thank you always for, as always, for signing on and joining me and keeping this dialogue open. Throw me some hearts and some love if you like these conversations. Hop on over to Life with Shannon and throw me some comments. I'll respond to any comments that you have and post below after the video. But as always, my heart is always with you. Don't be so damn hard on yourself. This is a hard struggle, but it is not bigger than you, because infertility sucks, but you don't. I already love you. Be easy. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.